Hey guys, Shane here. Before we get started today, I want to ask you a quick favor. Please hit that subscribe button and give this podcast episode a share on social media so that we can help more families start, build, and grow a membership of their own. We appreciate that so much. Thank you for listening today. And now on to the podcast.
Hey y'all, on today's podcast, we help Rebecca launch her membership site. Rebecca is a speech-language pathologist who helps parents teach language skills to their toddlers. Rebecca has already written a book that she sells on Kindle, and she's selling one-off calendars and resources to parents on third-party sites. On today's podcast, Shane will help Rebecca repurpose her existing content into a newsletter subscription. You will learn how to use print subscriptions as the core content of a membership community, the logistics necessary to turn your old content into a subscription product, and how to get excited about your online business again. This is a very fun episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast that you are going to love. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again today. Super excited to have another member of the Flip Your Life community on the show today so that we can help them take their online business dream to the next level. And I'm super excited today to talk to Rebecca Haas. I about said it. I told you I was going to do it. We talked off air. We're going to leave this in. I had a friend named Emily Haas in high school. And I said, I warned Rebecca I was going to mess it up at least once. And I did it the first words out of my mouth. So Rebecca Haas, welcome to the show today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we almost couldn't connect. We had like 10 Zoom links floating around. Nobody knew what was going on. And but we're here. We made it. And everything is going to be okay. If that's the worst thing that happens to us today is we're 15 minutes late for a podcast recording, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're all going to make it. So real quick, before we get started, Rebecca, tell everybody about you and your background and a little bit about what you're trying to do online.
Okay. So I am Rebecca Haas. I'm a speech pathologist, and I have been a speech pathologist, for 19 years. Can't believe it. And I live in Madison, Mississippi. I've been married for 12 years, and I have 8-year-old identical twin daughters.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle my 9-year-old daughter. How are you surviving 2 twin daughters at that age?
I don't know. We need prayer. And I'm also a certified fitness instructor, and I've been doing that for 20 years, and that's fun. It keeps me sane. And I graduated from the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. So yes, I like SEC football too much. And
I hope we have football this year.
I know.
I'm dying because I'm a football coach at heart. That's what I did for a living before I did this craziness. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, man, Kentucky for the first time in my life is actually good at football.
I know.
Right when we get good, the whole world just has to shut down, right? I know, right? Yeah, but I did hear the other day that we're going to probably have football. So hopefully when this airs, we will be watching football games and it'll be okay.
Oh, I hope so. I'll take your word for it.
Do you go to games? Do you go to Ole Miss games and stuff?
I do.
Yeah. Do you ever travel? Have you been around the SEC stadiums and stuff? Or?
I have. I lived in Savannah, Georgia for 12 years. And so I'd go over there and then up to past there. I've been all around. So my husband.
I got to go to the Swamp last year for the first time.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, it was wild. Like it's like because you see places like. Our world's so weird. We see these things on TV and social, and like you feel like you know them, but then you go there and like you have this weird like out of body experience, like you've been there before. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And but it was amazing watching everybody tailgate by the swamps, and there's signs that are like literally like, "Hey, there's an alligator here. Don't put your tailgate too close to it."
Right. Oh right?
So
Yeah.
okay. Well, if we got football. And we will tailgate at Commonwealth. If you ever want to drive up, well, it's Kroger Field now, but I call it Commonwealth still. And maybe Ole Miss and Kentucky can play, and we can tailgate together someday without sitting 6 feet apart. That'd be pretty amazing.
it'd be nice.
That's my dream. All right. Well, awesome stuff. Tell everybody a little bit about what you're trying to do online. Like, what are you trying to bring online? Because you've been doing it, man, this has been your career. I mean, 19 years. That's incredible. And like, you know what you're doing. You kind of in your life, like what are you trying to do online? And like, yeah, tell us what you're trying to do online first.
Well, so when I was pregnant with my twins, I was on bed rest a little bit, and I can't be still. I'm not one of those to sit still. So I wrote a book. And so that kept me busy. And I did that a little bit after they were born because I didn't quite finish it. And I published that on Kindle, and it did reach the bestseller in its category.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Like, that's no small feat to write a book. I've been trying to do it for a year now. So that's awesome.
It's a small book. It's a tips book. And that was a lot of fun. And it got some good reviews, and then of course some not so good reviews. I know that's going to happen. And then I started blogging with that, and that was a lot of fun. And before that, I'd opened my own practice because I worked in the school system for 4 years, and that just wasn't really my thing. And I started my own practice and did contracting, and then had some private clients. And so then I fast forward, and then I wrote the book. And so that was fun, and got some traction with that, and started blogging for the American Speech and Hearing Association, the Stuttering Foundation. And I realized, you can reach more people this way. And so then I moved back home to Mississippi once the twins were a little bit older, about 10 months old, I guess. And because my husband got a good job here. And while I was trying to build up my clients for my practice, I was blogging more. And then as my kids got older, I made these calendars with activities, and I put them on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I didn't advertise, but they started selling a little bit, and I could get a whole year's worth of those done. And so they sold a little bit. Well, when the pandemic hit, they started selling like hotcakes.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. I had no idea. I just got one email after another, and I thought, what is going on? And then I thought, well, it must be coronavirus.
Right. Because you know what happened? This is funny because I have an education company too on top of Flip Lifestyle. And when the pandemic hit, at first it was like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? Like, they were shutting down the whole world, right? And but we're online entrepreneurs. We got tools, right? Like, so we're like, okay, we're not going quietly into the night. Let's figure this out, right? It's just a problem we have to solve. And shockingly, our education website just went crazy. Like, and I think that it was a combination of, one, homeschool people. Well, everyone was a homeschool person all of a sudden. Everybody, like all schools closed, right? So I think some of it was resources and people discovering Teachers Pay Teachers and finding resources that they needed. And then part of it was teachers were having to show things in Google Classroom and use resources that they had never needed before online. Mm-hmm. And man, Teachers Pay Teachers exploded. Our memberships exploded. Like, it was, and every person I've talked to that's even remotely in educating children, it was like, yeah, everything's really good right now. Right. So isn't that crazy that happened? Like, you would think it'd be the opposite, right? School closed, everything's done. No, it was literally like everything exploded. Right.
So I was just completely shocked. And so I said, there's got to be some way I can take the book, which isn't selling like it was because I just don't advertise it because I'm so busy with my practice, but I want to be able to reach more people because my license only lets me practice in Mississippi. Right. And so that is, I want to be able to reach more because I can't through my license. I can't do therapy with other people in other states, but I want to be able to reach them somehow.
Right.
And I think through the book and my calendars, I can do it. But I know that through the book, it's called Talking with Toddlers. That's the name of my business, 52 Tips to Boost Speech and Language Skills. I'm going to reformat the book, and I've already started doing that, and it's not going to take a lot. And I'm going to send it to somebody to reformat it, and then get that back up. Hopefully do a paperback print on demand version of it as well. And then I'd like to get the calendars into a membership site, because I've seen with no advertising how much they're selling. But I think what I'm having trouble with is how to do that.
I gotcha. I get it. Yeah.
Right.
Because that's a weird version of a membership, right? It's like,
yes,
this calendar, you're doing this thing. Like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. And I got a couple follow-up questions if it's okay. Like, one, why are you so passionate about this? Like, I hear, like a lot of people want to do membership sites for different reasons, but like to hear, I love it when I hear people are like, man, I've got a message and I've got to reach more people. Like, that's a different level of membership. That's a mission, right? Mm-hmm. Like, our mission is to help 100,000 families quit their job. Like, that's my life mission before I leave this earth, is to help 100,000 people do this, right? So that's a different, that flavors everything that you'll do from this moment forward in your online business. So why is this so important to you, this field? And reaching more people, basically.
I absolutely love what I do. Like, it is deep down inside in my soul. I wake up every morning and it's almost like not working. It's just going to play with these kids and then teaching their parents and empowering their parents to help their kids. I have gotten one message after another from these parents. You don't know how much you've changed my life. And it's not the kids so much, it's the parents. You've changed my life. And I have cried my eyes out from these parents, just knowing what a good thing I've done for these parents. It's just it's in your soul,
Yeah, for sure. And it is crazy that, there's never been a time in human history like this all started 20 years ago, maybe. If you really want to go to the beginning of the first internet marketers, it's probably 20 years ago-ish that they really figured it out, like what was going on. But it's not just like they figured out how to make money online. What they figured out was I'm not restricted by anything anymore. If I have something that can help someone, I can do it. And, the analogy we always talk about is like the ripple from the pebble in the pond. Mm-hmm. And like, you can hand someone a pebble locally and work with them one-on-one, or you can throw that big, huge boulder high in the sky and watch it come down and hit the water, and boom, you got thousands of people all of a sudden you can do that for. And it really is, that's an awesome thing. Like, I love hearing that. Like, if you've got a mission and you've got a membership, you can really change people's worlds. Mm-hmm. And now we got the mission. We just got to get the membership. That's what we got to do. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Oh, I'm getting chills. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this from. I think there's a couple things here. There's some structure things, right? Like one question I do have to have. Do you have an email list or just a buyer's list, or because I know Amazon doesn't give you anything like that. Neither do Teachers Pay Teachers. Like, how many people follow you on Teachers Pay Teachers?
Oh gosh, I should have looked that up. I can't remember offhand. It's not a lot. It's probably about 100.
Okay.
Since I last looked, I need to look again.
Now, what about your blog? What is your blog? Do you have are you still blogging?
Not actively. No.
Okay. But you do have a blog that is about this topic, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the blog called? I just want to take a look at it real quick.
My website is talkingwithtoddlers.com. And then there's a blog tab on there.
Yeah, I use blog and website interchangeably. I probably shouldn't do that, Have you ever done anything to collect emails on here? I see this sign-up form thing, but there's nothing attached to it to bribe them into it, basically,
Yes, I have in the past, and then what I was using, I had to switch, and then I've just been really bad about it lately.
That's okay. We've all been bad about everything lately. The world ended back in March, and it's now rebuilding. So that's okay, right? It's okay to let a few things go during the end of times, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We had 4 months of a little bit of turmoil, so we're cool. Everything's okay, right? All right. Yeah, I see. Okay, I see here. Yeah, okay. So you don't have any opt-ins or anything on here right now. Do you get traffic? Does this get any traffic? Get a little traffic?
Yes, I've had in the past, last I counted, I had 250 on my email list.
Okay, cool. So we're getting some blog readers. We got some things, and we've got a good base here. This is really what I was looking for, right? So we basically have this loose box of puzzle pieces that's the product, which is calendars and books and things like that. We've got this blog that we've been blogging on, maybe not as regularly as normal, but it's there. We can fire it back up, right? You just gotta turn the crank, get the motor going, right? Knock the cobwebs off. What about social media? Do you have any social media for this?
Facebook, and I've got a lot on Facebook. I mean,
Okay.
not a lot, but I mean, 780 likes and 860.
Oh, that's great. You've got a bunch of people on here, right? You just got to figure out a strategy to post more. You know what I mean? Oh, you posted today. That's fine. You're posting, you're getting some likes, getting some followers, got some things going here. And then, let's see, talking with toddlers. What is this? What are these stories? Are these stories you wrote, or is this something you shared from somebody else?
Mostly shares from other people.
I gotcha. That's a good way to build your thing, though, man. We've got a lot of people in the community. Like their whole strategy is share one of my things, say something, share somebody from somebody else, and then they build their following that way because they become a trusted resource of vetting other people's stuff, right? Awesome. So you got a lot of tools in place here. It's like, it would be like if I had recorded a bunch of videos and I've got some courses and I started a Facebook page and maybe I blogged like that. Those are really powerful tools. Like you got a few people paying attention, that's good. Right. You've got buyers, even though we don't know who they are, there are people out there, right? This has been vetted. Like it's someone paid money for something. It's cool. Right.
Right.
Now, so I'm going to talk about this a little differently than most memberships. Okay. We're going to talk about building community around a subscription. A subscription and a membership are not the same thing. Okay. There's a little bit of semantics, but they're kind of different. A subscription is like you consume something. Like it's like a subscription box, right? Like if I sign up for, what's it called? One of those meal boxes where they send you the meal and you got the carrots all chopped up and you just you cook the food, right? Fresh meals, or I don't know what it's called. But like that's what a subscription is. You subscribe to something, you get it, you're good, right? What makes something a membership is when you build a community and you wrap the community around that subscription, right? So like the Flip Your Life community, there's courses, there's a commodity there that they consume, but it's basically like we built a following around this, right? Well, the same thing can be done in the subscription level, even with a physical product. This is exactly what I do with Membership Masters. Like Rebecca, Membership Masters is literally a calendar. Like that's what I sell every single month in Membership Masters. The only difference is I'm telling people what to do every day in their marketing for their membership, right? So at membershipmasters.com, I have a subscription newsletter. It's paper, right? The same thing could be done here. I think that it would be very interesting, and you can repeat people year after year, give them new resources, maybe change the calendar up. But like, I don't know why you couldn't deliver this print calendar. And if you don't want to do print, you can totally email it to them with the resources. That can happen digitally. But I think it would be a really cool thing that people, especially homeschool parents who have speech pathology needs and like maybe don't have access, especially with schools being shut down, like to this, like, man, if I needed help with my child's speech, I would really want a professional sending me some stuff to do because I can't figure it out on my own. That's not what I'm trained to do, right? And I think this could be a really interesting newsletter product, a subscription newsletter, where you actually print these and mail them to people. And like, maybe resources could be hosted in a virtual like space. So like if you had like something like Kajabi, you could have a place where like January's resources lived. So they would still log in, go get any additional things like worksheets or coloring sheets or whatever. But then maybe you could send them the calendar, right? And some instructions on how to use the calendar. Like, I think that would be a really powerful thing if people signed up and they paid $50 a month or, maybe 30. I don't know what we charge for it yet. But wouldn't that be cool? Like if you had a kid and they were 3 years old, having trouble with speech, you needed a professional, and like, here's July. Here's July, what you're going to do with your kid every week. And you know what? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to take this calendar, hang it on your wall. We're going to look at it. We're going to see it. And I'm going to have a letter from me written in it and like what to do. And then you can log in and get additional resources. And I'm going to show up for you at the beginning of every month. And we're going to have a conversation like how to modify these plans. You can ask me questions. Like you can do all those. You're not in that now. You're truly creating something you can serve to the masses. Right. Have you thought about that yet? Like actually sending people the calendar?
Not at all. Thought hasn't even.
That's what I'm here for, right? Not my first rodeo, right? You know what I mean? It's really not as hard as you think to do this, right? Like the Membership Masters is hilarious. We actually rented our own commercial printer, which you don't have to do this. I think this could be printed at home, like, right? It doesn't have to be super fancy. And like the kids pack the envelopes, like your girls could totally pack the envelopes, and you can make it a huge little fun little project, right? And postage is nothing. Like if you use the mailers that don't bend or that bend, like if you just get like an 11 by 9 by 12 or something like that, and you drop the newsletter in it, like it's probably 2 stamps to anywhere in America, right? So like it's a little bit of a process. You got to come up with some systems to do it. I don't think you send the whole thing. I think it's more like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a booklet. Like it's the calendar. It's probably like 4 sheets of paper front and back. It's like a letter from you, and then they open it up and there's 2 sides to the calendar. And then on the back of it, maybe it's like some instructions on how to go log in and get the resources. But that would be a really powerful subscription. Parents would look forward to that. Like that mail would hit their mailbox and they'd be like, this is awesome. Like
it really is. And
it reminds them to go back into and then all your resources that you know, like I'm sure your calendar is like, do this worksheet. And then the worksheet you have to print inside the community. You're not going to mail them all the resources, right?
Right.
But you could create a subscription newsletter that you could enjoy this process too. Like you could experiment on your blog, and you know each month when you go in and you're like, I'm going to write these people a letter in real time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to communicate with these people. It's my mission. And like maybe what you're thinking, what's going on in the world, and this and that and the other, and how you can explain it to the kids and blah blah blah. But then here's a calendar. Here's some instructions on where to go download the resources. They log in. Here's the date of the member call on the calendar so they don't miss it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and now it's just like, wow, here's my plan. My kid's getting better. I'm going to go log in because I love it. It's my reminder. Wow, I can't wait to talk to Rebecca. This is going to be amazing. And like now it's a community, right?
Right.
So the only missing component there is the people interacting with each other. But that's probably a Facebook group for this.
Right, yeah.
This is a bunch of parents. They're already on Facebook. Bam, they're good, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe this is it is a membership. That's a collective word, but this is a newsletter. I really think it is. Like calendars just lend themselves to this. And do you have a printer?
I do. And if not, I have another. My husband through his work. He can. Oh, wow! I'm so excited.
All right. I mean, yeah, and you can just run down and copy them at any Office Depot.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But this is so simple. It's probably just like, if you had 100 people paying $50 a month, right? Like, yeah, like that's fine. Like it's no big deal because you can just print, you just hit print and it just sits there and runs until they're not done. Right. You might need an ink cartridge every month. Right. Like, but
really?
I think it actually works better in this case, not being like mine is done on like 20 gauge paper and it's trifold and it's folded perfectly and it's it looks like a little book is what it looks like, right? But like this is staple in the top. It's not that complicated. It can get better over time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you could go down to do you have a local print shop there?
Oh, we have several, and then we have Office Depot and Max and
so you could go down and what you need, they have to come in 4s. I'm gonna give you the inside scoop here. So it has to be like so your booklets have to be, if you do a booklet, it prints on this giant piece of paper and then it folds and it's called stitching, like saddle stitch is what it's called, right? Mm-hmm. So that it's like a little thing. And what you need is it's probably like 4 pages. They fold it in half, and if it's 8, you got to go 4, 8, 16, 12, like 20. Like it has to be in 4s to work out right? I think yours is probably 4 to 8 pages each issue, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just a letter from you in real time. It's the calendar itself. I do an explanation of each day of the calendar, right? Like, so I go in and expand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Takes me a day to create, maybe two, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've already got the calendars done. You're just imprinting them on what to do, right? And then you shoot a PDF over to the print company and say, I need 100. You know, they print them, you pick them up, you throw them in an envelope, you mail them out. I mean, it's not hard. It really isn't. You know? And man, then put the resources inside and you're done. So go to the print shop and just ask them, like, how much would this probably cost you $1? They'll probably pack them for you if you want them to, too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. So okay. I'm getting excited. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I talk too much, but like, what do you think about that? Besides being excited, like, what questions immediately like come up to you? Like, what are the logistics of this? Like, anything? Like, what are your questions? Because this is a new idea that you didn't think about before. So
no, I love the idea. I guess my calendar, of course, and I love the letter and the instructions and all of that with it. Of course, my calendar is just a one page, so I'd have to get probably a higher quality piece of paper and a print ink and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
That's the only thing I'm thinking of.
And you probably want to redesign it a little bit. Like, are these PDFs basically that you send the calendar? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I like the, what's cool is you can figure out where the exact middle of these little booklets are. Like, I know for sure, like, mine is the exact middle. Like, if I was holding the booklet, it'll open to the middle is on page 10 and 11. Mm-hmm. So like, I always put the calendar there and it just goes, and it just opens up right to the calendar. Right. So if it's like, if you've got like 4 pages, it would be 1, 2, 3, like page 4 and 5 would be the middle.
Okay.
Right. And then you could have like a couple little things after it. Right. And you could have this nice little, 8-page booklet and you could just mail it out to them. Okay. And it's just a trigger. So then you got to then you just figure your costs out. Like, it costs, okay, let's say it costs 50 cents a booklet. All right. And then you're like, okay, well then it's like 75 cents in stamps and, an envelope. So you're talking $2. So you just figure that into your costs and that comes out of it and, take the time and do it.
Right.
Yep.
So I guess another question would be, how would I take a lead magnet, like a sign up on my website and lead them into that subscription? What would be a good sign up?
Well, I mean, I think that your book is the best. Okay. You know what I'm saying? One of the best book funnels is free plus shipping. Like, you can put your book on there and be like, hey, I'll give it to you. Like, all you got to do is pay the shipping. So then what you do is you just figure out, like, as orders come in, you'd have to automate this a little bit later. But for now, you could just be like, all right, I'm going to go print 100 of these. I'm just going to have them sitting in my office. And, as orders come in each day, we just box those and ship them. So like free plus shipping for a book like that, like you just, what's it cost you? Whatever it costs you to get it to them, maybe you charge them $4.95 for shipping and handling or whatever. Mm-hmm. Free plus shipping works really good. And what you can do is, so you can do free plus shipping. They sign up for it, right? Or you can have just, you send them, you go ahead and send them a digital copy, send them a PDF of the book, because you want them to read the book. You want them to see how awesome it is. And that's what leads to, wow, if this was this thing good, what is it going to be like to hear from Rebecca every month, right? Mm-hmm. And then what you can do too is you can record yourself reading the book. Like, you can go through the book, the tips, and you could record it, and you could upsell the audio book on the next page for like $9. And that can absorb even more of the cost to give you some more ad money to show it to more parents. It's an easy target on ads because all you're looking for is parents with people under 5. Like, that's it. Like, you can go into Facebook ads right now and pick parents of a certain group from kids 0 to 5. And like, you can pick that literally. Mm-hmm. So your ads are just going to go out and Facebook's eventually going to find the people you need. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you did like a free book funnel, hey, get this book for free, 52 tips to whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They go sign up for it, pay the shipping and handling. On the next page, on the thank you page, you upsell the audio version. You just send them an MP3. It's no big deal. Or you send them to a page where they can download it, right? And then you're good. Now you got an email list. Like, that's people coming in constantly. It should pay for itself because the shipping should cover the book, and a few people will take the extra audio book to listen to it. So that's going to give you more money for ads, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's just email marketing. It's just straight automation. And, communicating with them and telling them, like hyping them up for what's going to be in next month's thing. We go to print on June 21st. You better sign up now. Can't sign up after. You're going to miss July and your kid's going to get farther behind, right? Like it's easy marketing. And the newsletters, I actually have fallen in love with newsletters over the past year. Like I'm going to add one to the Flip Your Life community at some point. Like I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but but the membership masters, I'm just in love with the concept. It's so fun to ship things.
And it's so fun to get things too.
It's like Christmas. It's like the retention's insane on Membership Masters newsletter. Like it's insane because it gets people results. Like every time they get that, it's going to be like they're getting a box. But then like to add a community element of other people struggling with 0 to 3-year-olds trying to figure out how to do this. That's a community that's going to rally together. Right. To have a leader with 19 years experience doing this publicly and privately, like you got to brag on yourself, my friend. You got to go out there and tell them, I'm the person to teach your kid this, nobody else, right? And then and if you've got the book on the coffee table and like, I don't know why they would ever quit until their kid got too old for it. You know what I mean? But then you can make you could have new curriculum. Like you could have, like, for example, like if you want to focus on this age group, but people graduate out when their kids they may not find you till their kid's 2.5, right?
That is so true.
So like, I would probably, all this stuff would work from 0 to 5. So I would probably expand out a little bit and, and then, you can always add another layer. Like, hey, let's go on all the way up to first grade or kindergarten. And let's have a second thing. You graduate up to another, you just get which newsletter do you want? Do you want 0 to 3 or do you want 4 to 6? Right. So you could totally do that. It would be not something hard to really create, Right. Okay, cool. All right, we're going way down the rabbit hole here. So, all right, so I'm going to back the truck up, turn the beepers on. Okay, so we like the idea. Okay.
Yes.
So what do you think your next step is? Like if you had to take action in the next 24 hours, what do you think you would do to get this snowball rolling down the hill to cause an avalanche?
Can it be more than one thing?
Sure, go for it. You give me I want a daily list of the next 30 days. No, I'm just kidding. Like, what's next? What do you think?
Well, I want to start researching printers because I think I've got some ideas. I want to start writing a letter to go with the calendars and then start getting the expanding on the calendars. Like you said, that how you write the instructions with the calendars.
For sure. And it's literally, have you ever seen, you might not be, you're probably not on Membership Masters because you're just blowing this up right now. I'll send you a copy on PDF so you can look at it.
Okay.
And you can see what mine looks like because it literally is a calendar. You know what I mean? And just to give you a little preview of what it looks like, I can send you a copy. Okay. And that way you can look at the PDF, you can check it out and you can be like, wow, I see exactly what he's talking about now.
Thank you so much.
So you look at that and then I recommend Kajabi for this. It's how I run my newsletter because it gives you a nice little member area. You can put a little link to the Facebook group in the sidebar. It does all of your billing and payments. You can download the CSV with all the names and addresses and print them on labels. We just print them. My wife literally, like, Jocelyn pulls them out and goes click, and all the labels print. We use a website called ShipStation. No, that's not what. No, not ShipStation.
Okay.
We were using that. Now we're using pirateship.com because it's so much easier. Okay. And they have hilarious. They're really pirate themed, and they write you back. Their names are like Cassandra Barnacles and stuff like this. But like, it's way more fun. So but pirateship.com it's cash. You upload a CSV, you click print, it gives you all the stamps. You're good. Or go buy 300 stamps and have your girls do it. It'll be fun too. You know what I mean?
We can get
and but as soon as I get off here, I will send you that so you can get all that started. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I know it can be nerve-wracking when you're just starting out to be so vulnerable in such a public place, but I know a lot of people definitely are getting some value from this. I don't think we've ever really talked about newsletters and subscriptions. So well done bringing that up. And I can't see where this goes.
I'm excited.
All right, guys, that wraps up my amazing chat with Rebecca Haas. What an awesome Flip Your Life community member who's out there and getting things done. She's got all the pieces of the puzzle. She's just got to push them together and start laying them out and connecting them together until something amazing emerges from that. And we learned today that there's so many ways to build recurring revenue. It's not just a membership. It's not just a subscription. There's 1,000 different ways that you can put together your online business to make it work for you and really deliver the content and deliver your promise and deliver on your mission to the people that you want to serve. We would love to help you with your mission as well inside of the Flip Your Life community. We've got all the training, resources, accountability, and support you need to start, build, and grow a membership site or maybe a subscription newsletter of your own. You can check out everything we have to offer over at flippedlifestyle.com/free. We give away a 30-day free trial. And this isn't a trial where we hold things back and we don't give you all of the courses and we drip things out just to give you a taste. Wide open, everything we've got right there for you to see, for you to come in and kick the tires. We know that you're going to love it. We know that you're going to get started, and we know you're going to make great progress inside. So check it out over at flippedlifestyle.com/free, and you can start your 30-day free trial today. Who knows? You may be like Rebecca, you may have all the pieces right there, and we can show you how to put them together so that you can build your online business and you can flip your life and change your family's future. And maybe you already have a membership. Maybe you've got something going on out there where you've already started building some recurring revenue in a subscription service or a membership or some kind of recurring revenue. I can help you sell more memberships. I can help you get and keep more members in that newsletter I was talking about today, the Membership Masters monthly newsletter. Every single month, I send Membership Masters subscribers a calendar, a handheld paper calendar that they get in their mailbox. It opens up, it gives you an article that tells you about building sales funnels. It tells you about getting more traffic. It tells you about increasing retention, and a daily calendar that shows you exactly how to promote your membership every single day of the month. If you would like to learn more about the Membership Masters newsletter that we talked about today, head over to membershipmasters.com. All right, guys, that is about all the time that we have for today's show. But before we go, we'd like to close every episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast with a verse from the Bible. I get a lot of my inspiration and motivation from the Bible. Joss and I, that's where we turn, where we need some help in some part of our life. And we love to share that wisdom from the Word with y'all here on the podcast. Today's Bible verse comes from 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 20. And in the Bible it says, I went on the mission the Lord assigned to me. I did obey the Lord. What an awesome Bible verse. You know, today, Rebecca had a mission. She's got a mission to go out. She loves what she does. She loves helping these children. She loves helping the parents. And she's using the tool of the online business. She's using the tool of the membership model. She's using the tool of her website and her blog to go out and reach more people, to help more people, and let her ripple spread out past her local community, past the people she works with one-on-one, so that she can change the world. And that's what we all need to do. Use these powerful tools. Use these times that we have been born in to take those ideas, to take those missions out and help as many people as we can through our online businesses. That's all the time we have for this week, guys. Until next time, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.
It's crazy how cool newsletters are. And if you combine it with community and leadership, like the membership part of it, like it's not just I'm sending you a newsletter. There's a place to go, and there's some resources there, and there's a group of people who are also getting the newsletter, and then there's you showing up for them once a month, like early in the month, like to guide them through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different animal than buy this big book of calendars.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, that's lame, man. No, they're getting
It is.
a month. I mean, I know what I'm doing, and I run out of stuff to do, and I'm waiting for the next one, and my kids are getting better, and there's results, and yeah, it's really
Right.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. One more thing before we go. Thank you so much for listening to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. If you love the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, if we bring a little joy and a little happiness and we bring some knowledge into your life every single week, could you do us a favor? Go to Apple Podcast and hit subscribe. Download a few of the podcast episodes onto your phone. Apple's algorithm loves seeing downloads, and it loves seeing those subscribes. And please leave us an honest review over on Apple Podcast. That'll help us grow the show, expand the mission, and reach more people so that we can help them change their family's future as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.